Okay, so this is my ePortfolio for Business 4000. Oh, sorry. My name is Mason Hunter, um, and I am majoring in supply chain management with plans to graduate in May 2023. Um, Currently, I am an active member of the fraternity Sigma Alpha Epsilon. So, yeah. Throughout this presentation, I'll be talking about the goals 1 through 5 and the partnering artifacts that come along with it, and how kind of they just go hand in hand. So I'll start here with goal 1 with students will think analytically to successfully solve problems. For this specific goal, I chose to write about my supply chain management class with Professor Ratcliffe. It was titled SCM 3660, and throughout this class, we had to think analytically to successfully solve problems constantly. It was like 24/7. We were given problem sets, and on each problem set, you were given a data series, and you needed to figure out an optimal solution. And by figuring that out, you needed to use the correct formula for the correct problem. And so I think that in terms of thinking analytically to solve problems, this was by far the closest artifact I could get to that goal. Goal 2 was students will communicate effectively in writing and speech. And for this, I chose to talk about the marquee case study I did in a marketing 30/50 class with Professor Abdul Al Jumaili. Um, Throughout the entire class, we had 4 different case studies that we had to present and come up with. And just for this goal too, I chose the marquee case study. I think that was my favorite by far. My group and I, we were determined to come up with an argumentative statement of how we thought the marquee nightclub in New York City marketed itself better than any other club in history. So that was our argumentative statement, and we had to come together and we had to communicate and write and form an opinion that we could all agree on. And then we gave a presentation and spoke to the class afterwards about why we thought that way. So, with that being said, I'll be moving forward to goal 3. Students will understand ethical issues and responsibility to society. For this one, I thought the best artifact to talk about was a paper I wrote 4 years ago in one of my first classes. It was titled GLS 2000 with Professor Renwick, and the paper was titled The Consumption and Production of iPhones. And this paper just really digs deep into the history of making iPhones and just all the aspects within an iPhone. It talks about how the minerals in the iPhone itself, how it was manufactured, and how it was outsourced. And it talks about just kind of the ugly truth behind these different smartphones. So goal 4 was students will possess functional business knowledge and technology skills. And so the best artifact I could think of was my internship in terms of possessing business knowledge and technology skills. I think for 40 hours a week, I was either on Microsoft 365 or Salesforce. So I learned a ton with each software. My technology skills skyrocketed just due to the amount of experience I gained by constantly being on those different softwares. And I learned a ton about functional business knowledge. I learned all about what a SaaS company is and the different products that Brightly Software produces, the verticals that they work in, and overall it was just really beneficial. And so, lastly, goal 5: students will be knowledgeable about global environment of business. Coming into this, I did not know much about international business, so this is why I chose the specific artifact titled Business Communication, part of my CTE 3340 class. Beforehand, like I said earlier, not did not know much about international business. Well, after writing this paper, I learned everything I could about business communication in Belgium and business ethic or etiquette and different business ethics that are performed in Belgium. And I think just generally it taught me, I would definitely be interested in doing business in the future. And so this is one of those things where, you got to research where you're going just to practice their practices. And so hopefully you can close out deals. So yeah, that was goals 1 through 5 with the partnering artifacts. We'll be moving on. So I wanted to give a special thanks, first off, to Georgia Ferretti. She is currently my boss, and I look up to her as a mentor. She's been excellent this past year. I interned for this past summer of 2022, and she wanted me to stay on throughout my senior year of school, and I decided absolutely I would do it. She's helped me so much along the way with everything, every aspect in terms of just life. So yeah, special thanks to her. Laura Brewer she's been a professor of mine. She's by far it's been the best class. She's probably the funniest teacher I've met in my life. And it just made class entertaining and something you wanted to show up to every day. So special shout out to her as well. And then lastly, a special thanks to Austin Eggers. Professor Eggers helped me a lot in terms of just just really helping me out. My sister became very ill. She was really sick for I think it was 2 to 3 weeks, and therefore I had to go home for at least a month. And he just kind of helped me through that situation, and he was able to work with me every other day just to help pass this class. And I just special thanks to these people mentioned. So I would say my biggest transformational experience would be that final presentation I gave for my internship during the summer of 2022. It was the final presentation was in front of, I want to say, around 50 to 60 total people, and including the entire executive leadership team. I was very nervous beforehand, and I want to say after giving that speech about what I learned and how I helped the company over those 3 months. I look on I look at other presentations differently now. That was definitely by far the most I would say like nerve-wracking experience for me. So yeah, that would be my transformational experience. And then so my future goals, my ultimate goal is I just want to remain happy. I just want to be happy in my life. I know people go through ups and downs in life, and that's just how it is. But for me, ultimately, I want to be as happy for as long as I can. And in terms of full time employment, I want to be somewhere where I love working. And one day, I hope to be a leader. I hope to be somebody's mentor, and I want to put myself in a good position where I can see myself progressively grow. So yeah, and another goal of mine is just to make friends along the way and just enjoy those friendships and network. So that's all I got.